Hello, good people of Earth, and welcome to another episode of Schnozzcast. You're joined by your hosts, Bob, Cory, Nick, and Todd. And we are here tonight on a mission to bring you 90-second sports, TT's TikToks, the airing of Grievances, and Nick's existential question of the week. So let's get right to it. No more wasting time. No more time wasted. All right. Cory, how are you?
Oh, hello.
Hello, sir.
How goes it?
Well, you know, I'm recovering from golf prep, but we've been through that before.
God, 2 weeks in a row?
Yeah, 2 weeks in a row.
He's going to be a regular Tiger Woods out there.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Slaying all the bitches.
Nick, how are you?
Oh, not so bad. And yourself?
Well, and Todd Dillon.
Living well.
Living the dream?
Living well.
Okay. All right. So, guys, if you are new to the podcast, thank you for joining us. If you're returning, please keep doing so every week. You can find us out here on the streaming services at YouTube Music, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, Pandora, or anywhere else where you can get a podcast. You can also follow us on social media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Schnozzcast. You can also email us with your questions for the gang or requests for relationship advice to schnozzcast@gmail.com, or you can call or text us anytime, day or night, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. No client is too big, no fee is too big. 618-SHOCKER.
The shocker line, always open.
Shocker.
Baby.
We're still gonna get in trouble for that one.
Yes, I know we are, but we're going to forge ahead anyway. So without further ado, Todd Dillon, you got 90 seconds.
Yes, sir.
And we see him heading in that direction. The 20. He's going for 40. And it's 90 seconds forward.
All right, so Todd Dillon, in order for you to get
Yes, sir.
greased up for your 90-second sports, why don't we do a shot?
Are you eating into my time?
What do you? No, we haven't started the clock yet. Just
Damn it, Bob, he caught us.
Relax,
Just
Todd.
You guys,
Relax.
I've been repressed over the last couple of weeks, and so
Deep
I just want
breath.
to make sure I'm not getting
Deep
repressed
breath.
anymore. All right.
Yeah, don't say repressed. That implies that there's 3 white guys in Michigan repressing a black man in Seattle, and that is not what is happening here.
That's exactly what's happening here.
I smell an action figure coming your way.
Take a deep breath. What are you drinking
I'm
for your
feeling
shot, Todd?
repressed.
Tell the people.
I'm drinking. I'm going old school today. SoCo, baby.
Oh, my
You know,
God.
I'll be honest with you. When he said old school,
100 proof.
Old school was the gagging moment, and
are you okay?
I literally almost just threw up.
Okay.
honest to God, dude, I felt a frog in my throat when he said
Look,
that.
if you are listening here and you also almost threw up upon hearing the word SoCo,
Stop.
call or text us at 618-SHOCKER and let us know.
Ooh,
Let us know. Let us know. We're interested in knowing you, the avid Schnozzcast listener and or viewer. What is it about SoCo that made you give it up for the rest of time?
I made the mistake of looking down at the screen when he was holding it up to the
oh,
camera.
he's holding it.
Oh,
Seriously, I didn't even
no.
see that. No wonder you almost threw up.
Yeah, and then spring break.
Jesus
How is it
Christ.
still around?
Because of people like Todd. Todd's single-handedly keeping them in business.
Fucking soak. Okay. Anyways, let's get these
there's- if
SoCo
there's-
thoughts out of my head.
Yeah, enough of that trash while we tip up our fireball.
Exactly.
Cheers.
Cheers, Todd.
Salute.
Fucking SoCo.
If there was ever a
for our-
streamlined freight train to vomit,
No.
just give me a shot of SoCo.
Lord.
It'd be right into
For our,
the toilet.
for our friends abroad, Southern Comfort.
Yes, that
Just
is true.
hearing it
For
makes
the
me
6 people
shiver.
the 6 people that downloaded our podcast in Germany last week, Southern Comfort is what we're referring to.
Wie
All right,
geht es
Todd.
Ihnen? It's good to see you.
Das ist sehr gut.
All right, so we're doing the old electronical beep boop boop beep 90-second timer.
Boop, boop, boop.
Show me the way. Show me the way.
Hang on. Hold on. Hold on. I wasn't prepared.
You know, it's not often that I see Cory smile at your impression of him. It's kind of like it's old hat. by
he
now.
knows.
Yeah.
He knows.
But that made me smile a little bit.
That took the words out of his mouth.
So glad.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Todd, you're on.
Yes, sir. But I don't see the clock.
I do.
Oh, I do. Never mind. Got it.
Sweet.
Okay. There's so much to cover, especially since I haven't been allowed to speak my piece for several Several episodes.
You
I
were
don't want to be
repressed.
held back. I thought this was my 90 seconds. Anyway, so much stuff has happened in the last month in sport. First, congratulations to the UConn men's team winning the NCAA tournament. Nice job, gentlemen. Well done. LSU women's wins the NCAA women's tournament. Very, very nice. We got Lauri Markkanen, I think he's Danish, doing something no one's ever done in NBA history. In the entire NBA history, Bob, did you know this?
No.
No person has done this feat. He had 100 dunks and 200 3-pointers in the same season. Think about that. That's mad skills. Then we had the Masters. Eldrick, Tiger Woods. Dude who likes some Perkins waitresses. Dude who mashes the shit out of a golf ball. Made his 23rd cut at the Masters. That mofo, 23 cuts made at the Masters? That's just amazing. John Rahm, well done winning it. Then you got Philip Lindsay, former NFL Pro Bowler, playing for the Seattle Sea Dragons in the XFL. Dude, what is going on? We're in the playoffs. We get
All right. So you've hit the end of your 90-second sports there, Todd.
This is bullshit.
But
this is bullshit.
Learn how to get it in 90 seconds.
There was so much in sport. Dude, and Conor McGregor's fighting with the head of the freaking World Wrestling Federation.
Hold on. No, go ahead.
No, you, please.
No, you were going to have the buzzer.
That's
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'll say to you,
I need
Todd,
more 90 seconds.
The sage advice that I've given you in the past is that I think personally that any time that you can't get your sports in 90 seconds, which by my recollection, by my watch, has been every time, you should continue that rant on your TikTok. And what is your TikTok account?
D's nuts 32.
D's nuts 32.
You forgot your
I think I forgot it.
Yeah, I think you did.
boy.
Come on, man.
posting so much on there. You forgot what your
Look,
handle
I
is.
got a whole bunch of shit for plugging my radio show the other week. But here I give you a softball. I teed up for you for your
did.
TikTok
You
account.
served
And you're
me.
like, I don't
Because there's
remember
so
my
much-
name.
I
Dude,
can't help it.
Did you know that the California
It is the
Angels were in a
oldest podcast
baseball
member.
game where
I'm
two
sorry, Todd. We're
former
gonna lose you
MVP.
here. 90-second sports is over, and since
Todd, you've been muted.
since my hand was slapped away when I made one comment,
This is bullshit.
Muted, unfortunately, because that was sports talk, and that's outside the confines of the rule.
All right.
You're back.
Unmuted. You're back, Todd.
This is
Fuck
bullshit.
this podcast.
He's mouthing to the camera right now.
All
This
right.
is the repression I was talking about.
All right. So let's move away from repressing people of color and go right into TT's TikToks.
Are you ready?
Featuring that same person of color, giving us a 120-second theme song.
I'm sorry. I thought this was his time.
Are you ready?
Oh, I'm giving it to him.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it.
No, you don't need to turn it louder. That's
Sometimes
not necessary. All right, we do want to keep the show to less than 3 hours. So,
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
TikToks.
yep.
Yeah,
That's enough of
boy.
that shit.
TT.
All right. What do you got for
Show
us
me the
today,
way.
Cory?
So the first one I have here. So this is a great segue from sports too. So we've talked about
Cory.
some really yes, Todd.
Did you know the Kraken are in the playoffs?
All right.
Yeah, boy.
My hand's itching next to that button.
Hovering over the mute button, Todd.
He still wants to really bad.
Todd pushes the boundaries.
So we've seen some crazy sports that we've discussed
Yeah.
that are outside the confines of Nick's sports.
Yep. Contact balloon tag,
Contact balloon tag was one of them.
cricket.
Oh,
And I came across a couple gems the other
I'm
day
in.
that I want to share with you
I'm
guys.
in.
Okay.
I'm in.
As you can see here already by the title
I'm teetering, Corey. So
this is extreme.
What's your next move, Nick? Are you going to mute Corey now?
Extreme
I'm gonna
taser ball.
Cut off your Wi-Fi?
I may do all of the above.
All right, here we go.
It's not coming through. Oh no, it's technical
All
issue.
right. Hang
Wait,
on.
they're tasering each other?
Here we go.
Yes, they have tasers.
I thought taser was like just a turn of phrase, but there's actual tasers.
Yeah, no, there's actual tasers involved.
Taser.
God damn it.
It's like one of those toys that you just pull the cord on the back and catch phrases.
All right, here we go.
What did you think? Exactly. What did you think of the? It was like taser was short for like bitch. 20 seconds.
Wow.
So they're all just running with a taser in their hand. That's the
Giant taser soccer.
It's too glitchy. I can't see it.
Apparently,
we're gonna watch it again. So it's not really okay. So extreme taser ball. I got you. It's not exactly soccer as much as it is
so there's
running with a giant ball and a taser.
There's a giant ball that looks like a soccer ball. That's about the size of if you put your arms out to make a circle. It would be much larger than that.
So how many times during a normal extreme taser ball game do you think that you would get tasered?
Oh, I'm going to say a decent amount.
You got to be quick.
Like a dozen times? 24 times?
I'd say maybe a dozen.
I don't know anything about the sport, but let's assume they at least play like 2 20-minute halves.
I would assume so.
So in 40 minutes.
And to be fair for the community that is unaware, a taser shoots.
To be fair.
Yeah, a taser shoots prongs into people.
Yeah, it's a stun. It's a stun gun.
To be fair.
To be fair, a taser shoots prongs, projectiles, and electrocutes the fuck out of you. This is a stun gun. You have to make contact with it right against someone.
Okay.
Yes,
Thank you, Nick.
There's technically
and a phaser shoots a beam of ionized light.
All right, this is
if it's set to stun, yes. I mean, let's be serious here.
pew 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 pew.
All right, so the next crazy sport I got for you guys.
Thank you, sir. That's going on the board.
Combat juggling.
I have seen this, and I approve. I approve.
I'm in.
100%.
I hope this shit runs right.
This shit is amazing.
Dude,
these are actual bowling pins they're juggling with.
What are they doing?
They're juggling / trying to fuck up the other guy who's juggling. Dude, that was
the whole thing?
I would pay to watch that.
I can't see the video.
Oh, dude, do you know how much that would hurt?
Right to the
That's
dome.
a concussion. That is a bowling pin to your dome.
Why didn't he move out of the way?
He was juggling.
If you
I assume because I didn't see the video.
You can dodge a ball.
Dude, I am all on board with combat juggling. If anybody gets wind of a combat juggling match in town, let me know.
Okay, Bob. First of all, I was gonna.
Dude,
right.
I will.
Hang on.
With me
Hang on.
right at that match.
So I was gonna say, and I almost walked someone else into a great setup. I'm like, oh, if only I could juggle. That's gonna be the hardest part of this. And we know someone else in the room thinks they can juggle.
Oh, thank you for saying
fair.
thanks.
Yeah.
Thank God I don't have
juggle.
limes and lemons upstairs.
Exactly.
Word.
Yeah, it's
Because those are floor limes and lemons when Bob comes over.
It would not turn out like this. These
No.
guys are actual jugglers.
No, that's why I want to go watch.
Oh, I thought you wanted to play.
No.
Todd, for you and for those who don't know, I have like a wire mesh hanging basket where like onions and things like that will hang.
Round vegetables.
In my kitchen. And at one point, there were limes in it. And Bob thought that after 7 drinks and 4 shots
there's going to be some juggling tonight, fellas.
that he would grab the limes, 3 limes, and start juggling, and thought that was a great idea.
100%.
This is the guy that can't keep a glass of water on the counter.
Yeah.
And so it's just juggle. I think it was like 1 or 2 circulations.
We all
and limes
other
were
people's peccadillos as our friends
on the floor. They were hitting lamps.
This is just what you got to deal with when I'm your friend.
Rolling into the next room. I'm like,
not even the next room.
I'm being totally upfront here. Like, if I'm your friend, there's going to be some fruit rolling around on the floor at some point.
One ended up in the basement. Yes, Todd, your clarifying question.
What's a peccadillo?
Hold on.
Everybody's got their peccadillos, Todd.
Hold on. Was that the night? Was that the night that he fell down the steps?
Probably.
Do you remember?
Might have been.
Do you remember the night he fell down the
Might have
steps and then ran upstairs and did the like I'm 50 hands in the air?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then he tried because
That
then
was totally
he tried juggling again.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, because
I could not be stopped.
Because you're gonna another lime is gonna end up going downstairs.
Yeah.
You're gonna fall down the stairs again, and it's gonna be worse this time.
I think the lime rolled the corner and fell into the down the basement steps.
Todd, you know that. Todd, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I tell you that they were
really trying to.
They were concerned, but they were not that concerned.
Well,
oh no,
we were in the kitchen.
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
He's like, I got it, and all of a sudden we hear like, and Corey's like, oh, Jesus Christ. He's like, what the fuck? Did Bob just fall down the stairs? And I was like, Bob. And he's like,
maybe.
I'm okay. And then he came running. 50-year-old man.
Hold on. If you're over 50 and you've fallen down the stairs,
running.
The only move is to go back up at the stairs at top speed and let him know you're okay.
He sprinted up about 13 steps.
That's a PSA for me.
Threw his hands in the air and was like, woo! And I was like, what
all
the
good,
fuck
fellas.
are you doing? He's like,
yeah. The best thing you do is just set your friends' minds at ease that you're not dead.
Is a 50-year-old sprint a teenage amble?
Dude, he is very nimbly. He's very nimbly bimbly when he wants to be. And I go, are you okay? And he was like, might not be tomorrow, but I am okay right now.
Yep. I was going to say, what Bob didn't tell us for the rest of the week, he was laying in bed. Just,
surprisingly, I was all right.
He told me that
I'm going to feel worse for the range balls that I hit with the golf club today than I did from.
He literally told me, he goes, I know this sounds fucked up and it sounds like it's against everything you probably think. He goes, but I tumbled like a gymnast. He's like, and I didn't. He goes, I didn't hurt myself.
I tumbled like a gymnast.
He goes, I did not hurt myself.
I was as amazed as you are. But
Nick, I now have a question and a favor. Would it be okay if I pay for some cameras on your stairwell? Because I know what he felt like it looked like, but if you want freaking TikTok gold, he went down elbows and assholes. And that would have been freaking like 2 billion views. We'd have broken the internet with that shit.
Todd, we were outside of the curtilage of the steps itself, so we could not see what had actually transpired.
That's what I'm saying.
He was so quickly ran up those stairs. It was like a kid that accidentally chops his leg off and it's like, I'm fine. Like jumps up immediately.
You're comparing me to someone who's chopped their own leg off?
It sounds like Tosh 0.0 gold.
It may have
like
been
ridiculousness,
but I feel like I would have.
It sounds
won the
like
crowd
so
back
many
with
things that would make money
with my my agile. I think leaping up the stairs.
I think the only thing that was askew was his glasses when he came up, and he kind of like adjusted them.
That's what they would call a pain run in ridiculousness.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
You were in so much pain. You're like, I got to get back up those stairs.
It's
exactly.
But it sustained me through the rest of that night. And all the next week.
The booze sustained you for the rest of the night.
Hold on, is a pain run also
booze never sustains
where you half trip while you're walking and you do that quick little run to show that you did it on purpose?
I don't think that would qualify as a pain run.
So what is that called?
I will have to email Rob Dyrdek and find out.
You know what I mean? Like
I know.
Rob, like one of your flip flops catches and you're like, oh, just wanted to go for a quick jog.
I'd say a smooth recovery is what you call that.
Why don't we get him on the show?
Rob Dyrdek? Yeah, we'll work right on that, Todd.
Yeah, something tells me.
Tune in next week for the Schnozzcast featuring Rob Dyrdek.
He's only 60. We'll get him a flat-brimmed hat, and he'll be very happy to come on the show.
I don't know what you have against Rob Dyrdek, man. Anyways, I got one last one for you guys.
I'll call Wiz and see if we can get hold of him.
This is just for shits and giggles, as I saw this, and it made me laugh very hard.
Is this the one where she fell over that you showed before?
All right, so the caption is, neighbor's Ring camera caught my sister taking my scooter for a spin.
All right.
Neighbor's Ring camera caught my sister taking my scooter for a
Motherfucker.
spin.
Holy shit.
Dude, she smoked the shit out of that
She
car.
put a dent in the car.
Dude, the whole car shifted.
And not from the scooter, from her own
her
head.
face. And everyone's, dude, she must be gushing blood.
Oh, she's got to be.
Everyone's like,
She hit that car going 20, 25 miles an hour easily.
Do you have a
Do you
Band-Aid?
want a Band-Aid?
Yeah, your nose is gushing. All right, hang on. Let's go back here.
My
Yeah.
sister
You guys need to
taking
see
my
this
scooter
again.
for a spin.
Here she comes.
She should be taken to the hospital.
that was face
If
first.
that was my daughter and I came out and I saw her come up the street and I saw her hit the car, she'd be going to the hospital.
First of all,
100%.
Oh, my God.
First of all,
That's the kind of thing that's going to keep you out of college if you're a young
that
kid.
was complete concussion
Oh.
head trauma. Anytime that you have a back and forth motion of the head and it causes the brain to bounce
Dude.
back and forth in the skull, that can be concussed.
Well, not to mention, you're on a
Beyond.
scooter. You're the stance on a
Watch the
scooter
head.
is
Watch
you are
the head.
standing straight
See
up
that?
with your head protected by absolutely nothing.
Not only did the head fly forward, it smacked backwards.
And she
against
hit the other car.
That's what I'm saying, and then went to the ground.
Oh,
she
yeah.
could have really had a
She needs
concussion.
to go to the hospital.
Yeah, so that's that for.
Yeah, there go your dreams of your child running for any sort of elected office.
Here's my question: why didn't you just turn to the left and not hit the car?
I'm gonna go on a limb and guess that she thought there were brakes, tried them at the last second, and it was too late when she realized that there were no brakes.
Yeah, but you're going into a flat surface. Why not just turn
Into what? The other car?
to the left?
I was saying
into the
she
street
could have went right around that curve there.
Well,
and jumped off.
look, Cory's going to find this out when the little Seleskis come into the world. But you're sometimes not all kids are special. Some kids,
Some are very special.
Some kids are prone to hurting themselves very badly and doing things that defy logic.
Yeah, that's a little beyond her.
I do things that
think.
defy logic every day. Every day.
I can vouch for that.
Can you?
Word.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I can't vouch for every day of Todd's life, but I've seen enough where I'm like, oh God, this seems like a pattern.
So,
Gotcha.
so just so you guys,
Consistency, baby.
Was that the last? Was that the last one,
It
Cory?
was.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So just so you guys are aware, perhaps you are not listening to this podcast right now, and perhaps you're listening to it in the future. And if you are,
I love going to the future.
if you are listening to this podcast in the future, just know
Buy
that
Apple stock.
you can revel in this information.
No, the future, Todd.
Or-
not the past.
or be very upset at yourself that you missed out on this. Okay, so we all know that the biggest weed smoker holiday is coming up, is going to be upon us. All right, 420 is coming up. So if you are local, if you are in Michigan,
you are actually dating this because this podcast may be released at some point after.
that's
420.
okay. But people know that. People know we don't
Okay.
do it exactly on the
So
on that
again,
day.
if you were
They know that?
in the
Coming
past,
back to the past.
if you're in the past and 420's already happened,
You went to the future and then you realized 420 already happened, so now
yes.
you're back in the past.
Yep, exactly.
All right.
So
Buy Apple.
if you can catch this in time, all right. So Breeze, not the vape, but Breeze in Hazel Park on 420 from about 2 to 5, I believe. They are giving away over a pound of free weed to anybody
Per person
anybody that shows up. I don't know.
or a pound total? Like you can come and take like a fistful.
I think it's like an ounce per person.
Okay, well that's
An ounce. Holy shit. No, that's still a lot of weed, isn't it?
It is
An
a
ounce
lot of weed.
It's not, I mean, I'm not a weed guy, but it feels like people talk
16
about
ounces in a
quarters
pound.
and eighths, right?
That's still a lot of weed.
That's
So
what I'm saying.
Breeze on 420
Here's the issue.
in Hazel Park.
Here's the issue.
Yeah, go ahead.
I can't remember what holiday it was that
You got free weed?
there was a
Ounce
huge
of
sale of a bunch of different stuff going on.
Oh, here we go.
And
Right, let's go back to that.
All right,
All right,
back
so if
on
you're
this
listening
day,
to this in the future,
we're at the past where
we're
Cory
still
was.
we went
We went back even
further
further.
into the past.
Past in the past.
Yeah,
Okay,
to
all right.
where Cory was.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
Cory was getting this.
I honestly cannot remember what holiday it was, but Callie was like, "Hey,
When you do, let me know.
Green Genie was like, we have a ton of deals going on today." I'm like, "Oh, cool. I'll swing up there and see what they got going on."
Explain to listeners what Green Genie is.
It's a dispensary.
Okay. In Michigan, it's legal, just for everyone that is listening outside of Michigan. Yeah.
I was about to pull up to it. There was a line all throughout the entire parking lot.
Yep.
And I'm like, no, like there's no way I'm waiting in that line. It honestly, it looked like probably about a 4-hour line.
Okay.
That was just some holiday I don't even remember.
Clearly.
420, dude, going to any dispensary on 420, you're doing, goodbye 420. Because you're going to be in that line all day.
Yeah, hopefully you've planned in advance.
But here's my
and
point.
You've stockpiled weed for 420.
Well,
Go ahead, Todd.
and it's pretty worth it. I mean, ultimately, even if it's a 4 to 6 hour venture, I just did a quick Google search. How much is an ounce of weed? And depending upon the strain, between $160 and $350. So that's, I mean, ultimately, if you factor in how much you make a day, and you get $350 worth of weed, unless they're selling wheat seeds and stems. I mean,
unless it's
might be worth your while.
Yeah, it might be.
If you're going to the dispensary, I can guarantee you it's not
I think Cory's point is, are you really going to spend 4 hours of your awake time on 420? Which,
I don't think
let's be honest, is not very long.
I don't know if we're the right people to talk about.
If you could get $350
standing in line,
$350 worth of weed,
if you for a chance to get it, I'm assuming you're not guaranteed. You know?
I can tell you,
Uderex brown tie weed.
It's not worth it. Not worth it.
I mean, our listeners alone are going to create a 4-hour line. So
yeah,
that OG Kush. I'm like naming
all
everything
right,
I saw in a movie.
So Todd, I am hoping.
Yes, sir.
I am hoping that the stars will align, and based on what we were just talking about, that this will give you the platform to really tell us how you feel.
Use kids in your complicated shoes.
We really need to spice that up with some background music,
yelling in the background,
and then some more yelling.
Airing.
I'm still fitting my lyrics to the song that we previewed a couple months ago.
not the rap.
Yes, the rap.
The rap. The rap is coming. The rap is coming.
We can't call it a rap by any means.
Not these slightly rhyming words set to music.
Those white hot bars.
They were red hot bars.
Yeah. Yellow bill.
I like to
keep spitting those rhymes, Todd.
The race.
I've been practicing, bro. I've been practicing.
All right. So Todd Dillon,
I'm gonna drop my dulcet tones on
what's sticking in your craw these
me?
days? Yeah.
Lots of shit, and specifically shit. I am a pet owner, and if you're a pet owner, you take good care of your pets, but you also take care of other people's pets. So when you take your dog to the park, to the dog park, where do we take it? Take your ass some bags and pick up your dog's shit. Nobody wants to step in your dog's shit when they're walking their dogs and picking up their dog's shit. Please, motherfuckers, please. People who are walking their dogs and letting their dogs shit all over the place. The other day, Mary and I were walking through the park. We see people maybe 60, 70 yards ahead of us. Dog runs out in front of them about 20 yards, takes a big King Kamehameha dump right in front of him. Lady reaches in her purse. I'm like, oh, good. They're going to do the right thing. Pulls out her phone. I don't know if she's texting her buddy or whatever. Left that big fucking steaming mound of dog shit for me or my dog to step in. Please, people. Please. Let's not murder each other. Because I wanted to choke out a lady. Because my dog's going to step in that shit. And they were like, hey, why does the car smell like shit? It doesn't even. And by the way, dog owners know this. You know what your dog shit smells like, and it's horrible. You don't want to smell other people's dog shit on yourself or on your dogs. So, motherfuckers, please pick up your dog shit.
I love it when you always address the general public, as motherfuckers. Motherfuckers, please.
Seems about right.
Do what I ask.
Very Sam Jackson of you.
Yeah.
You're very welcome.
All right, sir. I appreciate it.
Please and thank you.
Please and thank you. And with that, yes. Sorry. So there's more?
Supplemental.
Okay.
Supplemental. I'm going to be traveling next week, and this is a repeat grievance / beef.
But it's a preventative measure.
It's one that hasn't changed. It's getting worse, Bob. It's getting worse.
Right.
People of Earth, we are in a time where we are divided, worse than we've ever been, and we need to heal. But we're not going to heal if you backpack wearing motherfuckers don't realize that you have an appendage on the back of your fucking back when you wear your fucking silly ass backpack. And I don't appreciate when your backpack's fucking in my lap when you're fucking trying to put your suitcase in the fucking bin in the airplane. Take your fucking backpack off and realize you have a fucking foot-long fucking water bottle sticking off your back. Be a human being. Respect my face, my space, and either take your backpack off or mind the distance between the next human being and you. Please. And thank you.
Well, I think that the fans, the fans of the Airing of Grievances segment will be excited to know that you're traveling next week.
Yes,
Todd, just take out that big old D and just swing that around their face.
Supplemental beef. Number
All
one.
right. Thank you, sir. For the primary and the supplemental beefs.
USD grade A.
First class, baby.
All right, so for
Timeless
this
intro, we should never
episode's
Stop it.
sorry, I thought this was my piece. For this episode's installment of Nick's existential question, it's going to be, if you could give a single piece of advice to the film industry in Hollywood, what would that advice be? What would you say to the film industry in Hollywood? So, in preparation for a follow-up question.
You mean a
Clarifying question?
I mean,
Done.
they're both the same. If you could give a single piece of advice
I don't think so.
to the film industry in Hollywood, what would you say?
Yeah.
What would that advice be? And
Yes.
I'll go first.
Okay.
All right. So, my advice would be, Steven Spielberg, please talk to all these idiots making movies nowadays and using all this crap fucking CGI and teach them how to use the animatronics that you used 30 years ago to make Jurassic Park, the original, as amazing as it possibly was back in the day. Take that technology, improve it with today's technology, and make some fucking badass flicks.
Who in particular should
More
we
with
be
less,
talking
baby.
to? Are
More
there
with less.
specific movies that you're referring to that are shit?
Yeah. Give us some examples, bro.
I mean, there are so many movies nowadays that use CGI that you can immediately tell when you're looking at it. Jurassic Park gave
Name one.
a feel. Excuse me. Jurassic Park gave a feel like it was so ahead of its time back in the day, so long ago, just from using animatronics, because the camera is seeing something physical that's actually there. And when there are things like, and for the life of me, I can't even think of anything right now that comes to mind. But
Pacific
there are,
Rim.
What's that?
Todd, he's never seen Pacific Rim. Come on.
No, but there are so many things now that, you know, even with high budgets, that the CGI is just, I mean, you can, like the Hulk shit. I mean, you can immediately look at it and you can, you know, it doesn't, that fucking uncanny valley feeling, you know, you have it where you can immediately tell that it's CGI.
You didn't think the Hulk was real?
It looks
He's
good,
not?
but
That's some bullshit.
it looks. I remember back in the day when I said to my buddy Marcus, who lived across the street from me, is a good friend of mine, and I said to him when N64's GoldenEye came out, and I was like, "Doesn't it look so real?" It's real as a relative term, real as to what we're used to seeing as real.
Because then you had nothing else better than
to
that.
compare it to,
Yeah.
right?
That
So it was
that
relative at the time.
Yeah, the first person shooter game where you could see other people.
It was 3-dimensional
Yeah.
in the game,
Right.
and,
Yeah,
and I
but-
remember he said to me,
But looking back on it now,
he said to me at the time, no, it doesn't look real. It looks very fake. But at the time it did. Looking back at it now, these boxy figures, it's like, why were we thinking this looked real?
it's terrible now. But yeah, but back then, like,
Well, I have a question.
especially as a 13-year-old kid, you're like, holy fuck, this is amazing graphics.
State of the art. Yeah.
Sorry, Todd. I didn't mean to scold you there. Go ahead, sir.
No. Like I said, I had a point though. Here's my question.
Yes, sir.
So, and this is going to date, and unfortunately, this is actually going to date me.
Mm-hmm.
As a person who saw the Hulk as a human being named Lou Ferrigno, so the real deal,
Live action, yeah.
And I know you guys weren't even in diapers likely when those Hulk shows were out.
I was still my dad's.
He was a human being, exactly. But I'll be honest with you, Lou Ferrigno was compelling when I was a child. But I don't, and I know it's CGI, but one of the best CGI scenes I've ever, because you used Hulk as an example, when Hulk bitch slammed Loki. I think it was an Endgame in the office when he's like, he calls him a puny god.
Oh, it's Avengers.
I don't see any. Again, the CGI disappeared into that perfection, and Lou Ferrigno would never be able to grab another human being and slam him into the earth and break, ceramic tile with him. That is so. I get what you're saying, which is I think my complaint about what my advice to the film industry will complement. But I will say your example kind of bit me because I saw when the Hulk was a real muscular dude, and while it was cool, the new Hulk of today, CGI and all, is 50 billion times better.
Yeah, because I'm not talking about a muscular dude in the 50s or 60s that was painted green. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about animatronics. Adding things that are not real but that are physical and not computer generated.
Yeah.
That kind of technology, if we had something that looked that realistic, and there's so many now on Facebook Reels, like depending on the things that you follow, you can see a lot of behind the scenes and how they made all this work and everything like that, and the painstaking efforts that went into painting the T-Rex.
I can already answer your question then.
And all this stuff. And if it was that phenomenal back then, just think if they shifted gears, because it's too easy these days. And I know CGI is not easy.
That's what I was going to say.
I'm not trying to play anyone down like that has that job, because I know it takes years to make some of these Pixar movies and things like that. I'm not trying to do that. But what I'm saying is I feel like they completely have gotten away from that and just have thrown it out the fucking window. Because they're like, we could just CGI everything. We can just CGI.
I know why.
Everything. What's that?
You know why? So you actually explain it yourself, and this is the beauty. This is perfect. The reason why they've gotten away from it is that painstaking physical thing costs money. Yeah. Somebody has to maintain it. They have to oil it and grease it. But like I said, but if I pay a software programmer to CGI it, I pay a premium for the first level of effort. But ultimately, it's all tweaks from there. So ultimately, the cost of doing pure CGI versus the animatronics. You're spot on. I think if we took it to the next level, the problem is, would you rather have better visualization of things that aren't real like dinosaurs or more star power? Because ultimately, if I have a $5 billion budget to make a blockbuster movie.
Todd, shut up. You're taking away my... No, stop. You cannot take away what my answer was to Nick's question.
All right. Well, that's my answer.
Sorry.
So we don't need to Monday morning quarterback it anymore.
I think that's a good point. I'm gonna save my shit for after the show.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Cory.
Well, I think I just kind of gave it away, but yeah, I stopped paying actors and actresses billions of dollars for movies and put it into the movie. Create those animatronics again.
Yeah.
Give those animatronics take way more than one person to put together.
Correct.
So now you're employing several people over just one. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's actors and people in Hollywood that I follow and I like. Money's getting out of hand.
Make stars.
Can I drop another nugget of science on you?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to get my point out there before you covered it. That's all.
I got you. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No.
But I was going to say,
you obviously had no fucking clue.
I didn't. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, though, that's not where they want to drive out the costs and put more money. They want to drive out costs everywhere they can. It's why again, while sugar's not good for you, high fructose corn syrups and everything, because it's a cheaper thing that I can make more of and actually make more money and more margin. It's all you're right. If you don't want to pay those people all those gazillions of dollars, but you have to figure out where you spend it. But that's the problem. The people who are making money are doing everything they can to cut out all the costs and drive higher revenues.
If you think about it, at the time, Jurassic Park made the actors. The actors did not make Jurassic Park.
Agreed.
They did not cast.
Go fuck yourself. Jeff Goldblum was always Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum was no one until fucking
that's
Jurassic
a bunch
Park.
of bullshit.
No, that's not true. That's
He
not
made
true.
The Fly already.
He's been in
he was a goddamn legend.
Give me a break.
He was. I don't
knew
care
his
for
name
him,
until
but
that movie.
he's got a. Oh, that's not true.
Says the guy who has never seen any movies.
I mean, let's just be honest here. The general public probably did not know much about Jeff Goldblum until Jurassic Park.
Those ignorant bastards.
But
all I could say.
there wasn't like A-list actors that you were like, oh, this was Harrison Ford and this was so-and-so, this was so-and-so. There were a lot of probably lower level actors.
Up and coming.
Yeah, exactly.
And on the way back down, Richard, was it Richard or David Attenborough?
He was not in Jurassic Park.
The fuck he wasn't.
David Attenborough.
One of the Attenboroughs played the main character, John Hammond.
Okay, John Hammond
was played by, look it up, one of the Attenboroughs.
I mean, I could see that, I guess. But
I'm definitely not going to call whether it was Richard or David or
David Attenborough's still alive. That guy died. I remember that.
I'm just telling you that it's not like there were
Richard. Yeah, it was Richard.
Yeah, it's not like there were no name actors in Jurassic Park. I get what I mean. Laura Dern was a legend at the time. Sam Neill was a legend at the time. These people might have been on their way down, or Sam Jackson on his way up. But Steven Spielberg,
like you said, Bob, nobody beforehand knows it's going to be a blockbuster, even though it's a great idea.
They're doing that acting job, and they don't know what the hell the finished product's going to look like. They were doing groundbreaking special effects, which, by the way, were not all animatronics. Some of them were, but some of them were CGI. But I think the point that you're making is a director like Steven Spielberg has the clout in Hollywood and can get a budget secured with a particular cast and a vision to say, this is what I want to get done, and he can make it happen. But not every director can do that. Some of them have to rely pretty heavily on CGI, which then relies on the finished product is going to look like, and I'm not sure that they really know that every time.
I look at things. I look at things like Jurassic Park, things that were ahead of their time, that they used a lot of physical things as opposed to CGI. Jurassic Park, the Thriller video was very much ahead of its time. Yeah, there was a short snippet or a clippet, as Cory would say.
Snippets and the clippets.
Yep, both of them.
That he turned into the werewolf. That was some CGI work.
Yeah, that was John Landis who did Animal House.
And American Werewolf in London.
That's right.
Things like that were groundbreaking at the time that they need to incorporate back into movies, because nowadays with the technology that we have, they could just fucking blow something off the charts. And if they could do that back then.
But the costs are high.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they make a lot of money. It's still topical. We're still talking about this in 2023.
Right, but if you spend a lot of money and it's a dud, there's a lot of movies that people made that they thought were going to be badass, can't miss, and they missed, and they had big budgets. There's a ton of big budget movies that flopped, and so again, it's the economics. Nick, I'm in 1,000% agreement with you.
I know.
The challenge is it's a big risk to spend that animatronics, those people, like you said. If you could make an amazing, visually spectacular thing, and if you spent a gazillion trillion dollars, and even if you got all the actors to take pay cuts, you thought it was a great script, and it flopped, you're fucked.
I mean, you need to get people like Steven Spielberg, people that have created and invented the wheel, and say, let's take this group of directors and let's steer them into the next century, into the next grouping of movies, and say, let's take you under our wing and show you, like, this is where we should be going forward. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like just have no-name directors try and do this. Like, they need to follow in the footsteps.
Rookies going to be rookies. Rookies going to be rookies.
So I know you don't go see a lot of movies, but nowadays, if you go see, I mean, the Marvel Cinematic Universe is it's the MGM of its day. Right?
Yeah,
like they're everywhere. They're a huge juggernaut, and when you go see an MCU movie these days, a Marvel movie, in the credits, if you stay and watch your credits, the credits take forever because there are, no lie, at least 10 to 20 different visual effects companies who all get credits at
Absolutely.
the end. Absolutely. And so they're farming all that out to do this piece, to do that piece, to make this come to life, that come to life. And
Cory, not for you.
And so it's really tough. So many of the things have moved to the computer these days, but there are sea changes, and there always will be. At some point, someone will make a breakthrough that will change the game. Just like Spielberg did with Jaws, just like Spielberg did with Jurassic Park.
What I'm trying to say is I like Marvel movies. I know I haven't seen a lot of them. The ones I've seen I like. They're definitely entertaining. But I'm not down on Marvel movies. I'm not down on CGI. There's a time and a place. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is stop amping up big name actors in a movie filled with 85% of CGI and go back to the fucking roots. Take some up and coming actors and get some animatronics.
You again? Yeah. Good Lord.
Get some animatronics and some real cool effects and fucking reinvent the wheel.
It's really tough to get visual effects of that caliber with no name actors. I mean, they're not going to give you money.
Exactly, that's the budget.
You need to get like a Matt Damon.
What are you going to spend it on?
No, fuck that.
No, you need. If you don't have a Matt Damon on your cast, you're not going to get the money.
Jurassic Park did not have a Matt Damon.
They did. I'm telling you, you don't see a lot of movies, and
I haven't, and I'm going to have
a lot of the actors
appeal to your infinite wisdom. But
yeah, I'm telling you that there were names besides Spielberg.
Probably not the level of a Matt.
I was going to say for Jurassic Park, Pratt was the unknown. Pratt is the unknown thing in the Jurassic Park.
You're talking about the new Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm saying he was. But as they moved forward, right? That was their cost cutting measure.
He had already done Guardians
was nothing.
He wasn't nothing. He got that movie because of Guardians, because of Marvel.
I'm not talking about the Jurassic Park chain. I'm talking about the original movie.
Yeah,
the groundbreaking original movie with B-level actors.
I'm telling you,
Helen Hunt was a pretty big name at the time.
Helen Hunt wasn't.
She was not in it.
Goldblum's not a B-level actor.
Laura Dern looks like Helen Hunt.
Sorry, okay.
I get her confused.
I will tell you guys.
A-list.
Yeah,
Goldblum's
Goldblum.
A-list.
No one was A-list in the movie.
No, I don't think he was A-list.
But there were people who were A-list at one point, like Attenborough, and people who were on their way up.
Okay,
on their way back down.
I'll give you a good.
But I will say we don't even have to argue about this anymore because I don't think we're arguing. But to your point, Spielberg is the name.
Yeah,
because it was Spielberg, he could do what he wanted.
Right. So take that clout.
Not every director is Spielberg.
I understand that.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, if you're not Spielberg, you cannot get a Jurassic Park made without a Matt Damon.
Which is why I'm saying that he needs to be impressing himself upon these directors and using his clout to say, like, hey, do what get your way to the top, or get some of these directors that were a Spielberg level that he was at.
Hold that thought, because we've all got a shot sitting here. Todd, you got another disgusting shot of Soko you can do?
Stop saying it.
Stop, please, dude. I just got a headache instantly.
I almost shit myself.
Cheers, Soko, brother.
I just poured a shot of Southern Comfort.
Sometimes I dislike you, Todd.
But I will say, as an up-and-coming strong actor...
Tasty waste, baby. Tasty wasty.
At the time...
Well, that's buttery. That's like brown sugar. A little bit of butter.
Stop talking unless you're talking about something other than Southern Comfort, because you're lying.
So, to my point to all this, I get that. You need a big-name actor in the movie, and a director like Spielberg to have that name and that clout behind it. But... what I think what has happened is with those big names like Matt Damon or his side star Ben Affleck, like
sure,
now it's become a point to where they're getting paid so much for every movie, that's out of control.
Yeah, I agree.
They should have kept it's too late now. It's already that's the way it's going to be from here on out. That should have been capped years ago.
That's what I'm saying. That's our problem, right? We're capped all the wrong things. We capped the prices of teachers, but we haven't capped the prices of entertainers. I mean, ultimately, our society has valued different things differently. Unfortunately,
entertainers and sports.
If you have the talent to do it, why should you be capped?
Right.
But like you said, everyone else is being capped. They're putting in way more actual work than a lot of movie stars.
So real
we
day-to-day.
we aren't valuing those things though.
I know
as a society.
Todd, I'm completely agreeing with you.
I think we're all agreeing as to what the problem is, but I don't think it's entirely clear what the solution is. But I think
because you can't. Well, you can't stop. Yeah, you can't stop. But you can't. How do you say what is enough or what is too much? That, I mean, ultimately, that has to go across the whole.
It's what the market will bear.
I say
right?
The solution is you take people that are amazing directors like Spielberg, and you say, I'm going to invent these actors. These actors are not going to invent my movie, and you take people that are up and coming instead of these giant fucking paycheck actors. And you make the movie speak for itself.
Ideally, yes, that is ideally the solution.
Sport,
but exactly, but that's not the way. Again, that society's all
the up and comers they'll become the new breed, and
I would argue that he's
already
done that.
Made.
He's already done that.
He has, yeah.
He will do
several times
a tentpole movie, a big summer blockbuster movie. And then he will do Schindler's List, where he will have Liam Neeson and who is it? Ben Kingsley, and it's an art film.
Sir Ben Kingsley, to you, sir.
Right, my bad. Order of the British Empire. He can do what he wants because he's Spielberg. So I would argue that he's already doing what you're talking about. He's just.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Not every other Hall of Fame director is doing the same thing.
But there's not, Steven Spielberg is Steven Spielberg now. He was also Steven Spielberg back in Jurassic Park days.
But he can still get a Jurassic Park made today.
I understand that.
100%.
But I feel like as a credit to the industry, someone like him should be mentoring and taking directors and saying, this is the path I followed. This is what you need to do. My time is almost over, but this is something but you know what I'm saying is like if you're not, what have you always said? If you're not preparing someone to be your successor, then
you can't move up.
You're not doing yourself any justice.
Right. You can't move up.
Your legacy. How are you going to carry on your legacy?
By the way, I feel like I should
clarify a question on that.
I should make sure people know that I stole that from Todd.
Yeah, Todd, go ahead.
Well, how many people have you met in your professional life, though, who are all not about their legacy, but about making sure that that themselves are irreplaceable?
Oh, I get that. But as
therein lies the rub. I mean, and again, I don't think I don't know that Spielberg. I don't know him. I mean, ultimately, and we know that he's a brilliant director.
He might be doing this. We don't know.
But exactly, and like I said, and if 3 or 4 of them are, again. Like I agree with what you're saying. Ultimately, we can do better even in movie because I can't wait till I get to my suggestion.
Has anyone answered this question besides you?
No, because it was interesting enough that we all wanted to.
It's a great question.
So the last thing I'll leave you with, and we'll move on.
Okay.
You guys were adults at the time of this release of Jurassic Park, and so I want to ask you and Todd. Specifically, Cory and I,
you son of a bitch.
Cory and I were children.
What year are we talking?
What was it, like 93, something like that, when it came out?
96.
96.
Yeah.
So it's 23, 22.
Yeah,
I was 22.
13.
I was 22.
Yeah.
However old Todd was.
I stand corrected. It was 93.
93.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I just pulled 93 out of my ass, and it was okay. Great. So. Tell me. So I know we say up and coming and everything like that. So at the time, the 3 people that come to my mind are Sam Jackson, who was in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You had Wayne Knight.
I don't even remember him in it. That's the funny thing.
He had a very small part.
Yeah.
You had Wayne Knight, who was on Seinfeld.
Which
Newman. Was Seinfeld even a thing?
It started in like 89. So
but it took them 4 or 5 seasons to get rolling.
Well, that would have been 4 seasons.
Yeah, because season 1 was horrible.
He arguably might have been one of the more famous people in that cast.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So
he did. So he employed that methodology. He got his cheap people.
You had
Goldblum being the A-lister,
and Wayne Knight was like a secondary character. That you didn't see very often.
Yeah, he was the plucky comic relief.
Yeah. So you've got Wayne Knight as Newman from Seinfeld. Was in there. You had Sam Jackson, who I'm assuming at the time had already made Pulp Fiction, correct?
No, it was 94.
Okay, so this was pre-Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
So
he had made, what did he make? He was in a Spike
What did he
Lee
do
movie.
in the original Jurassic Park?
Wasn't he in a Spike Lee movie?
He was the guy that said
yes, he's been in Spike Lee movies.
That might have been the only thing he had done until that point.
He was the like the supervisor at Jurassic Park in like the control room who was smoking a cigarette, talking to Wayne Knight.
When Wayne Knight got trapped out in Jurassic Park and was basically killed by dinosaurs.
He was trying.
Sam Jackson was the one who had to clean up his mess.
He was trying to unlock his computer, and so he typed.
I don't even remember. I got to watch it again now so I can see it. I don't even remember.
He typed in the
it was
password.
Such a non-event.
He typed in the password a couple times. He's like, I know his password. We're gonna unlock this, and we're gonna turn on the fences because Wayne Knight disabled the fences so he could get past the fences with the embryos of the dinosaurs, and so he turned off the electric fences. So shit was hitting the fan, dinosaurs were getting loose, and so he's like, well, I'm the supervisor, I know I can type in his password. And he forgot to put please in front of his password. And so a GIF came up on his screen before GIFs were GIFs as a screensaver of Wayne Knight with a giant head.
When you say GIF, do you mean GIF?
Yep.
Okay.
With a giant head.
I translated.
And he was wagging his finger and it went, you didn't say the magic word.
Yeah. He had a cigarette dangling from his lips the entire movie, and he kept going like, "Hold on to your butts."
And he went, and he had the cigarette hanging from his lip, and he went, "Please, God damn it!" And he just like screamed at the computer, and he got locked out, so he couldn't do anything.
It was like a 5-minute part.
Yeah, that was it. That was Sam Jackson. So the three people, Sam Jackson, Wayne Knight, and Jeff Goldblum. So how big were they at the time? I feel like the movie more so.
Goldblum was the gold standard then.
They were big in art. They were good actors. So Spielberg got Jeff Goldblum, who was a very well known like actor back then, and then excuse me, he got Sam Neill, who is an Australian actor who had done a whole lot of different. He was awesome. He had done some John Carpenter movies, some local Australian movies, but he was a very good. He was an actor's actor, and then Laura Dern, whose father is Bruce Dern, very famous actor from the '60s.
Richard Attenborough.
And Richard Attenborough. He had a really, really solid cast, right? Go ahead, Todd.
And I'm enjoying the hell out of this, but I have a question.
Okay.
What are our listeners thinking right now? Are they?
There's no listeners. Well, we're doing this for us. We're doing this for us right
mofos.
We're doing this for us.
777 people.
Who knows
out there trying to get us to 1,000?
You know,
when this episode releases, it could be a hit.
Look, if we're going to get any listeners, it's going to be because we're talking about something real and something that is important to us, and that they're going to latch on to that because they understand that we're being honest and forthright about how passionately we feel about this versus that.
Something
timeless. My question would be how can we fix it? How can we help fix it then? I mean, ultimately, if we want to be rich and famous on this, and you guys can actually pay me like you should, we need to figure out how we can take some action then.
Yeah, that's what you need, more money.
Well, I think that our takeaway from this, gentlemen, is to go back and do a little bit of homework on some of Spielberg's movies since Jurassic Park, including The Fabelmans,
that have completely flopped.
No, not necessarily. They've all been critical successes, like The Fabelmans, which got nominated for Best Picture last year. So
because of his cred. Because here's the thing.
But it's actually
great.
But it's not all because of his cred. It starts with his cred, but he still has to make a good movie.
And his cred,
but here's the problem.
Here's the problem by movies like Jurassic Park.
Yeah, but here's the problem. I think Spielberg's a genius, but I don't watch movies because the director's a genius. So The Fabelmans is something that's been out for how long now? And I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it.
You just shoved a knife. You just shoved a knife in Bob's asshole.
I don't give a fuck, but I definitely watch movies because I love the director.
I
So it's just
I don't watch
difference of
movies that
opinion
way.
is all.
But there's exactly. So how do we divvy up the movie watching universe into who lives in what camp? I think Spielberg is a genius, and I'm going to say something that's going to make everyone on this show, and probably I'm going to break the internet with this, and this is going to put us on the map. So we're trying to get to 1,000. I, Todd Dillon, have not ever seen E.T.
Well, we should definitely fucking continue this later because this is a conversation that has a lot of other facets, a lot of
momentum,
best work.
ins and outs, and what have yous.
Todd, if you thought that broke the internet, I'm really going to blow your fucking mind. I've never seen any Star Wars.
No, neither have I.
Yeah, and legitimately, when you're talking about like filming stuff without using special effects like CGI, that's what you're talking about is the original Star Wars Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, those lasers. How did they get those in the movie? That was crazy.
Yep. It is crazy.
Yeah. So what did were those big pieces of yarn or?
If you watch them, then we can have this conversation. But until that point,
I've seen enough clips to know that that's CGI.
By the way, though,
I'm not going with seeing clips. And by the way, is anyone else going to be able to answer your question?
I'm looking at we're over an hour now.
All right. So why don't we get to?
I'm sorry, you were commenting, not me.
I totally was. I'm just saying, if we're moving on from there, I will go next, and I will say,
you dare talk to me about Star Wars.
Hollywood should find a fucking way to get Daniel Day-Lewis out of retirement and give him a script that is worthy of his genius acting.
All right,
that's what I would tell him.
All right, Bob, what's your pick?
I just fucking told you. I'm not sure what.
All right, that's fantastic. Corey, what's yours?
Okay,
I already answered.
He did his. Yeah, I was gonna say you didn't do me yet.
Yeah.
All right, Todd, go
the
ahead.
Repressed motherfucker.
Yeah, I did these two because they were white. So go ahead, Todd.
I know where I fit in.
I know.
Some might think I'm going to cut that, but I'm not. I'm actually going to turn the volume up and that part and isolate only Nick's voice.
I got to tell him what he wants to hear. So
I get in where I fit in.
Right.
And my thing is, and actually, I love this question for this reason.
Yeah.
Mary and I now watch television with this eye, and I'm like, lazy writing. If I could, and this is across the film, sitcom, all the Daily Show, stop the lazy writing. Fill in the blanks for me. We all live in a world. Don't be lazy. I mean, ultimately, and again, I know that you're trying to get a compelling story like in Law and Orders. I watch the Law and Orders, the FBI's, but because I'm intrigued by the process.
The FBI.
No, but again, because I'm intrigued by it. But again, I don't like, and Corey, you're laughing because I watch them because the premise is spectacular.
No, Todd.
The execution is poor.
Todd, I was not laughing at the content of anything you were saying. You said the Law and Orders and the FBI's, and that's what tickled my fancy.
All the bureaus
tickling
that are federal.
Yeah, no, and the Chicago's. I mean, for the people.
That's.
Oh no! Wait. What I was gonna say. So there's law and order. There's law and order.
There you go.
Law and order.
Laws,
organized crime. There's law.
Chicago's.
There's law.
You sound like a 75-year-old man.
You got your Rockfords and your files, and then you got your Rockford files.
You stop at Kroger's on the way.
There's the Myers
but we're so freaking dumbed down today. We need 19 NCIS, Hawaii, Michigan, New York, Los Angeles.
Hang on, I've never seen the Michigan one.
Yeah.
Junk.
The kid Rock's the freaking prosecutor. Anyway,
criminal justice system.
All right.
Exactly.
This shit's going off the rails.
There's
now.
all the. I think the premise, and if you think about it, the premise of all these shows when they first launched, Law and Order, groundbreaking. This is like Nick's animatronics. It's groundbreaking. That's why there's 3 different interpretations of it: Chicago PD, Chicago Med, Chicago Fire. Oh, let's get all the freaking things in there, right? Next will be Chicago Coast Guard and the freaking National Guard, and then we can see all the shit that happens in Chicago, and you can see your spots. And there's even a show that's Grey's Anatomy. Well, Grey's Anatomy is in Seattle, and there's a Seattle like 911 or something like that, but it's called something different.
What the fuck is he talking about now?
I think what he's
I'm
trying to
talking
say
about
is
the fact
instead of making 5 Jurassic Parks because the first one was great, let's keep reinventing something new that is fucking groundbreaking, that works. Instead of saying,
I'm actually taking to a deeper level. Even I do make time to watch regular television programs. And my advice to them is this: don't do the lazy rise. You guys heard one of my grievances in the past is don't
take your shoes off on planes.
No, it's going to sound sexist, but don't show a lady police officer chasing an apparently fit man from 100 yards behind and catching up like gaining ground. Like
Todd,
that's lazy.
There it is.
Todd, pull your shirt down. Your misogyny is showing.
There you go.
There we go, everyone. 1,000 subscribers, please. Please. That's all we're asking for. I think Todd might have just thrown that off a little bit.
Once again, we have found a way to shoot ourselves in the foot.
Our very low viewer count has already gone down.
I've been equally to blame for that. So
yeah, thank you, Todd.
I'm sorry. And not for nothing. Here's the other thing.
Todd,
when I watch one show,
bring us home, buddy.
I'm going to bring it to a close. Bring it to a close. Lazy writing. In one show I watch, it takes like weeks to get a DNA analysis done. And another show I watch, I asked for a rush. It was done in a day.
Seconds.
The lazy writing, exactly. The lazy writing when you get from A to B, and especially, I rate every show like this. When I watch a Law and Order or SVU or Chicago Fire, if I figure out who the bad guy is and how they're going to get busted in the first 15 minutes of your show, that's lazy writing.
That's lazy writing, yeah.
So my advice, please confuse us, give us some conundrums. Don't make it too crazy out of control. If you're gonna tell me to suspend my disbelief, again, I know that there are lady officers who can run down perps all day. But when I see lady officers chasing down people from
350 pound muscular black man. Oh my God, she immediately put him in cuffs. It was amazing.
No lie. I was watching one of the FBI's recently, and the officers were in pursuit, and one of the lady officers kind of blew by one of the more athletic and again, I know there are dudes who look athletic or slow, but I'm like, she was like 20 yards behind. I'm like, how did the other dude make the FBI if this lady can run him down in a 20-yard sprint? I'm like, who's catching anybody? I want to see real times. I want to be entertained, and I want to know when to suspend my disbelief.
How'd she make that, or any of the FBI's?
No, it wasn't her. If dude is so slow that a lady, again, also athletic, maybe even more athletic, is 30 yards behind, and she walks him down in like 1 second,
she's a woman,
and she's the one who tackles the perp. Come on, man. Somebody needs to get fired, or somebody needs promoted. Promote the lady.
Fired.
Todd, to your point,
that is a great closer. Someone needs to get fired.
I will say the continuity and how things are done in certain shows, just going down to like how someone will hold a weapon. That's always been a huge thing.
Finger on a trigger.
So
absolutely.
I will give like Keanu Reeves a whole shit ton of credit. Every time I've seen him in any movie, he knows what he's doing. And then there's other shows and movies.
Even though he couldn't legitimately fight for 37 minutes straight.
You bite your fucking tongue about Keanu Reeves.
but he makes it look good. So
yeah, absolutely.
I agree with you, sir.
All right. Somebody should be fired. That is going to be the title of the episode, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Schnozzcast and Cory and Nick and Todd, this is Bob saying we'll see you next weekend. Peace out.